Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
So basically, what I'm trying to do right now is just incorporate all the important things that I want to do in my life. I may not be necessarily where I want to be today, but by the time next year, there are certain things that need to be taking place. Period. So in the morning time, I know I wake up at 6 o'clock. It's 6 a.m. I know certain things I want to prepare. That's my, where I sit with my thoughts, meditation.
Mhm.
On Wednesdays, of course, I join with you guys. It's my quiet time. By 7:30, I know my kid is waking up. I'm giving him a snack. So that means I have until 9 o'clock to look through my notes, my emails, and get myself prepared for the day. And then by 9 o'clock, he's eating. And I know he's going to be good until about 10. So that gives me time to do, work out a little bit, maybe if I want to, or I can put that off later on in the daytime. But pretty much just all day long, I have a set time where I can do things right now, just trying to, implement things into my schedule so that when my business does really take off, I can have a grasp on doing that and still spending time with my child all at the same time.
Mhm.
So I take like two times. Well, I'm sorry. I'm kind of jittery because, I'm just getting up. So um
Mhm.
around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I know that's my time to sit down and learn with him. So he's only 2 years old, so he can only learn for maybe like 20 minutes to 30 minutes at a time. So I know
Mhm.
that that's when we sit and we learn his letters or whatever. And then about 2:30, we go outside and we play or we take a walk or whatever. But it's our personal time just to cuddle and love on each other. And
Mhm.
then we have times like that throughout the day. And also as far as me working. So together, like as we're doing this, we're playing, sometimes I could be working. And when I need my quiet time to work, he knows to go in his room. Just trying to set a schedule. I don't want to talk you guys to death, but that's pretty much where I am.
Okay, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you. It sounds like you really are moving around a lot and trying to create a different puzzle, like how everything fits in the puzzle of your day, and that's good. It sounds great. I encourage you to continue to weave in, make sure you're weaving in time for yourself, you know,
Right.
self-care time, time that is set aside to rest, to do nothing, to, gather your thoughts. I like the way you said in the beginning of the day, you have your quiet time. It's always beautiful to start that way. Don't forget yourself in the middle of the day, especially when that job, that business does take off. It's real easy to forfeit your time because now you're obligated to your son and to the business, and we don't write ourselves in. So that sounds.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, sis.
Thank you.
All right, Lenora, I heard that you were going to come in and tell us about your routine or your idea of a routine.
Well, good morning again. I actually love the idea of like creating a period every day around creating the person that you're intending that you're becoming. I actually am going to steal that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just wanted to say one of the practices that I've started lately is just getting up and meditating and journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
because I found this period so nourishing for me
Mm-hmm.
doing this on Wednesday that I decided to get up a half an hour earlier so that I could meditate and journal. And I know that in the past, when I was doing that on a regular basis, I felt more grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, I had more clarity, and um, and I also feel that when I'm using those practices, manifestations come to me far more easily and effortlessly when
Mm-hmm.
just when I do that on a regular basis.
Okay. Ashe, Ashe. That's beautiful. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And it's good to, like we were saying, it's carving out a time that's dedicated only to you, even if it's in resting, because you're still doing something when you're resting. You're intentionally giving yourself, your mind, your body, everything a break, so that you can, and that's a building block. in our life. Um, so that's beautiful. And also, I love filling your morning with journaling and meditation, just to start it out, just to give. And that's one of the things, like I said earlier, I'm implementing stretching and having some time to just gather myself, center myself. I love when I'm walking, especially when I'm walking by myself. That's a great time for me to just run through my thoughts, daydream, um, visualize things, listen to the spirit of the Lord, just talk to my ancestors, and just really be in that my beautiful safe space, when I'm walking. So incorporating walking into that space. I do like walking with others. I like walking with my daughter, and sometimes I get out and I can meet with Stephanie and walk. But I know she can attest there's nothing like doing that solo walk when all you can hear is the hitting of your feet, the sounds of the world, and your mind is just going, right? So, yes. Anyone else want to come in and talk about um, a routine either that they have in place or one that they would like to implement that supports this new chapter, this new in the invitation says new you, new routine. You have anything for us, Miss Stephanie? Because I know you're up early every day. No. What about you, Miss Angel?
Good morning, sisters.
Grand Rising.
Grand rising, but I'm slow rising this morning. I have the baby. Miami is on lockdown, and Michael got called in. But
For the
yes, I
on lockdown
uh,
for what? For COVID?
no, cause they police was shot yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I think a few streets over from where I lived, and they just you know on high alert. And
Mm,
but I like to chime in on just carving out time for myself. I need it. And I kind of like in the mornings, back
mhm,
when my kids was younger, I used to have to get up like at 5 a.m. to pray and start my day and meditate because that's the only time that I had free that I could do it uninterrupted and
mhm,
still have a little period of time and hear, what's coming back to me. So I kid you not, since that time, I wake up automatically. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And I just go into that meditation. I had began to add to that, like I would light my sage
mhm,
and, just get the whole room and the environment. Um, and then I have been journaling.
mhm,
Now, that's been very interesting because it brought another level. Because sometimes things run across my mind and I don't know why or whatever. But if I journal them and I go back, it's like
mhm,
spirit is directing me in a direction. But writing it down give me more clarity. Like, oh wow, okay, yeah, 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 I can see this. You know what I mean? But
mhm,
I must have the time. Sorry for my voice, but I must have the time, just clarity. And I'm starting to add to that because now that I've changed a lot of things that I do in terms of income, I'm
mhm,
starting to carve out my whole day. Like, okay, these hours right here, these hours are my income making, my hustle hours. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So um I'm trying to channel like this is not to put it in concrete, but just to be very mindful of what draws my time during those hours
Mm-hmm.
that's not productive. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like that stray call from someone or like or something like how you can get into like I don't know if you guys, but I always have so many papers. I can get into looking through my papers and then okay, 45 minutes. What just happened? So
Right.
I'm like very mindful, like through like 8 o'clock to maybe 6 o'clock, like what's drawing from my time that's not productive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I love
I think that's a needed thing.
Ashe. Ashe. Give thanks. Thank you for sharing that, Angel. And
Okay.
good morning all the way out there in Miami.
Good morning. You guys, I normally be waiting for you guys, but I was like, 7:38.
No worries. No worries.
Okay.
Sister Dharma, do you have any thing that you want to add as far as your routine?
No, right now I don't have a routine. I just have I'm closing up all my business and running out of rent.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. Well, I really thought that this was a great topic to talk about because as we have done so much work and we've done so much purging, we made so much room for new things. This week was a strong purge week for me. And let me tell you, purging is something that is not easy to do. And you have these knee jerk reactions, at least I have been having these knee jerk reactions. I posted a couple of days ago that I had handed over the keys to my father's home, and there was I couldn't go in there anymore, and I talked to Angel and a couple other people just to I just needed to talk it out, and it felt good to be able to do that. And I was like, okay, great. Went to sleep, slept like a champ, but let me tell you guys, I jumped up the next morning, and the first thing that I said is, oh my God, I should have got that lazy Susan that was in there. Y'all, when I tell you grief and separation anxiety is real, I don't know what made me like um, focus on a damn lazy Susan, but that thing popped me out of my sleep, sat me up, and I was like it was a life or death thing, right? And I'm like, why am I? And I'm talking to myself. I'm saying, girl, relax. That is grief. That is separation anxiety. That is that feeling of scarcity, like, oh my God, I didn't get everything. Oh my God, somebody is gonna get that, and I need that. I need that lazy Susan, right? It sounds crazy, but my mind was just, and I said I had to talk myself down. I had to be like, it's okay. It's okay. You didn't get the lazy Susan. And then I was thinking about all the stuff I was supposed to do. I needed to take pictures of my products. I needed to do this. And then I even tried to soothe myself by going on the Amazon and saying, just go buy you another one and you'll have it. But that you don't have the right to go back into that house because you've given the keys over. Nothing else in that house belongs to you. Right. But it was just that sense of loss and floundering around. I was like, oh my God. But later on in the day, um, Spirit was telling me that I have been relieved. I've made so much room for this new chapter in my life, and that I have this block of space that's open. And how am I going to consciously plan out what I'm going to allow into that space? And to be honest, in my track record, even though I open space, I can procrastinate through it. Like Angel said, I can get sidelined and do something else. And next thing you know, I have I've misused hours and hours and hours in my day. I can feel certain things going on in my body that I need to attend to. I need to stretch every morning when I get up. I know when I stretch, my body feels better throughout the day. I need to sit quiet and yes, light some sage, light some incense, pull a card for myself, um, pull a sequence so that I can use that as a journal entry or have some ideas to create some content um, on the line. I need to set a time to do a video to relay what spirit is laying on my heart to give to my audience. Um, I need to set some time to create curriculum and take courses. But in all of that, I also need to set some time to create a great meal for myself, to drink water, to sit and just smell the roses, um, create time that I daydream about how me and my husband are going to love each other and speak to each other. I mean, really understanding that even though I may not be conscious that I'm calling and attracting and creating in my life, that I'm constantly creating the life through my actions, my thoughts, and my my words, right? So just being more conscious, and I can't plot every hour, every second of the day, but just setting up some key points for myself um, is my goal because I really want to support this new level of who I am and doing deeper spiritual work and doing deeper breath work and doing deeper self work means I have to take time to make sure that I'm aligned so that I can listen. I have to take time and deal with my physical man so that I don't neglect it and I fall into illness or pain or um, just things that happen when you're not maintaining your body. Um, I want to make sure that I'm speaking to myself lovingly and kindly, but setting some healthy boundaries for myself. We talk a lot about setting boundaries for people outside of ourselves so that they don't come in and throw off our energy or take us off our mark. But I need to also set boundaries for myself. And I know Angel has been really helpful in bringing that to my mind. She'll say, "How much time are you dedicating to your business in your day? You know, what are the hours that you're doing your hustle?" And I never looked at it like that. I just get up and my day would lead me wherever it went. So just it's good to think about it, and it's great that you ladies have really incorporated a lot of that into your daily routine, starting off with that grounding effect, whether it's meditating, journaling, praying, being in silence, listening to your body, um, breathe, daydreaming, visualizing, speaking life over your family, over your home, whatever it is, going out, putting your feet in the ground, in the dirt, or putting your body in water, connecting to the elements, whatever it is, it's a beautiful thing. And it's so great when you're consciously creating it. Ashe? Yes,
Actually,
yes, yes, yes. And also, we're teaching those around us, our children, our mates, um, our roommates, our siblings, because they're watching us, right? Everyone is watching us, just like we're watching other people and learning from them. Um, not in a with a critical eye, but with an eye to absorb something that may work in our lives, right? So if you have children in your home, grandchildren, young children, or even just just people in your life, because older kids learn too. They're gleaning from you. So um, I remember when I was a young girl and I was in the church, we talk about going into our prayer closet and doing a lot of things um, secretly just for ourselves, which was great. But it's also good to have some of those things in a space that your family can see as you are living your life. So the memory won't be. I remember when my mom would be in her room with the door closed. I didn't know what she was doing, but I knew she was doing something too. I remember when my mom or my sister would get up and I would see her sitting quietly or reading a book or writing or doing whatever the routine so that I learned that this is a great time. And she would sit right where the sun was, just stuff like that. Just letting your light shine first for you and then for others to have a beacon or a direction. Ashe? So,
Ashe.
mhm. Let's just use this time this morning just to close our eyes and visualize just the beauty that we are creating and that we're allowed to live in, right? I'm so grateful that even in the midst of chaos, that my life has a duality that allows me to tend to putting out fires and dealing with the bill collectors and dealing with the business of life while still enjoying the softness, the quiet time, the creativity or the creative times, and just the times of being able to count my blessings, recognizing those times when life is so good, those sweet spots that come through. And as I recognize them, I feel like I'm starting to recognize more of them. And they may just be nanoseconds in the day, but in the midst of grief, in the midst of um, discomfort and maybe discord in areas of my job or whatever, I'm still able to recognize sweet, wonderful things. A hug shared with a stranger. Last night, we had some books that we were about to give to the ecumenical program in the community. And there were these three ladies walking down the street. And Sydney, she just, on the spur, she stopped and she said, "Excuse me, ladies, do any of you read? We have some beautiful books that we cannot keep in our library any longer. And we're going to get rid of them. Would you like to look through them?" And let me tell you, those ladies stopped and they were so happy to go through those books. And they were like, "Oh my God," they were readers because they were like, "Look, they have this book. And oh my God, I wanted to read that book." And there was two books that went together. And one of the ladies was like, "Well, that's the second book to this." So, and it was just so amazing how Spirit allowed us to connect. I mean, it was kismet. And they could really they kept saying, "We're going to take care of these books. We're going to honor you with these books, and when we're done with these books, we're going to pass them on." And that was just one of those times in life where you could say, wow, life is good, you know, life is sweet. Um, it's great. And that was just a help because even though it was painful that cleaning out daddy's house, we couldn't keep everything. We've been giving stuff away, but we've had to part with some really beloved things that was really painful. And we didn't know where it was going to end up. You know, you give away the books and they might just sit on the shelf someplace, or they might throw them away, or they may not see the value of African centered books or stories for Black children, you know. But these women came through and they were like, one lady was like, well, I homeschool, so this is good. And then the other lady, she got a book. Um, I think the book, the name is When Black People Could Fly. That's a book that I had gotten for the kids when they were very young. I got it in paperback and then Sydney got it in hardback. But African American stories for our children, talking about when we were great and powerful and when we had no limitations. And just to be in that space, that was a sweet spot. So let's just think about, as I'm laying the foundation, all those times when a ray of hope, a ray of sunshine, like confirmation that life was good, or an affirmation of who we were in this life, or a manifestation either has happened or was on its way. And even in the midst of our trauma, our drama, our pain, our grief, there was a light, and we were able to pull ourselves up on that sense, or find a new breath, you know, get a fresh breath as we just feel our bodies harmonizing into that space of just being grateful. Let's just give thanks to the Most High for never forgetting us, for always sending us that experience that just opens us even more, giving us the courage to accept the experience and ride out that wave of love and light and authenticity of meeting another human being in a real place. Just giving thanks for our families, those conversations that come up and just make you feel so good inside. Giving thanks when we feel accomplished, when our day has set up and life is good. Y'all, excuse me, I hear rain. I'm gonna mute my line. I think I left my sunroof open. Y'all continue on in this space. Excuse me. Oh, give thanks. Close the sun. Another sweet spot right there. Ashe. Ooh. Mm. Would anyone like to just share their musings right now, where they are as they're going through their mind of all the good times and those good spaces, those authentic moments?
Good morning, everyone.
Mhm.
Um, as I shared earlier, I've been meditating on a far more regular basis the last few weeks. Uh, and I realized that one of the things that I am, um, I feel like everything that you all have been saying today, I'm sharing today, has been so applicable to things that are going on in my life. I really have been wanting to release things and let them go. Uh, Physical things, as well as um, emotional and spiritual things. Uh, the the thing that I wanted to share was um, my son started middle school last week. It
Mhm.
uh, has been a little bit of a source of anxiety. I took him out of a school that I didn't think was working for him, and I agonized a lot over the decision. Um, but yesterday, as I was leaving campus, I was stopped by the vice principal who um, told me that he could see that my son had um, leadership quality and
Mm.
that they were looking for ways to help him cultivate that in the school. He was just talking to other other teachers about it. And he said, I just wanted you to know that your son moves through the world with such loving kindness.
Mm.
And and we just want to figure out how to help him cultivate that. And it was such an affirmation of I felt from the universe that I had made the right decision, and it felt so validating. I
Mhm.
just felt so much gratitude and relief, obviously, um, that I'm moving in the right direction.
Yes,
So I wanted to share that with y'all.
that is beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm sure that that just made your heart beam.
It did. It just really. I've been carrying that around in my spirit since then. And I was like, I just thank you, Spirit, for for leading me in the
Mhm.
right direction, for guidance,
Yeah.
um, and just and and for me listening to my intuition, um, when I didn't have anything else but that.
Mhm. Thank you for that. That is so encouraging. It's so encouraging and it's so real how spirit will give you those nuggets or those situations that really feed your soul and make you stand up straight again, you know, and just say thank you because I wasn't forgotten. What you came through and you showed me. You acknowledged what I was doing. It's like when your mom says, "Good job," or your dad says, "See, it all comes together." But on a higher level, our Creator our provider, our source, just drops that beautiful, uh, nurturing feeling on us. Thank you for that. Anyone else want to share?
Good morning, ladies.
Hey, Mary Jane, welcome back.
I know it's been a while. Life has been all over,
Okay.
but in good ways. And I think that for a while, like I was overwhelmed, so I took some time off work, and came out to California, stayed for a week.
Mhm.
I just needed to regain some peace. And I want to tell you guys about that because with my job, they allow short-term disability. That's one of our benefits, right? If provided proper documentation from a doctor. So when I went to the doctor and let him know, like I'm just stressed, I'm kind of all over the place, I need a break, right? And I told her that my job does allow this with proper documentation. The first thing she wanted to do was put me on medication.
Mm.
That's not really what I want to do, right? So of course she tells me she's a medical doctor, so I'm coming to her for help. So I said, okay. So one of my friends was like, if they offer you medication, just take it because it helps your case better for the job. So I said, okay. So I took the prescription, but I have not taken anything. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I go back to work next week. It's been about a month. But when I say I feel so much more refreshed, like the other day I woke up and I just felt like me. After I came back from Cali, I kind of let everything go and just like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I think when I did that, I was able to just think with a clearer mind, I enrolled my baby in daycare, so she started this week. So in case there were any issues, I could be there to come get her, and we're going through that transition. And honestly, it seems like everything just started flowing from there. Last year, I met someone in South Carolina going for training. His wife moved to North Carolina, where I report for duty in Goldsboro, North Carolina, and they moved all the way from Arizona. Okay, I kept in contact with this person for over a year. They called me when they were moving out. I finally was able to meet his wife, and I went over to their home for dinner. And all of this again was after Cali, after just kind of letting things go and saying whatever will be, will be. And I'm talking to them and they're like, oh, you need a job? Oh, you want to transfer? Okay. The chief of the Charlotte Guard lives right next door. And probably not even 2 minutes later, that same man called, which by the way, they say he never calls. He always texts and asks the other chief for some help. He was like, I'll be back. He came back 10 minutes later with that chief, introduced me. I walked away with the number with the recruiter in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the chief's email. Then he told me, this was Friday, he told me to reach out to the recruiter on Monday. I reached out to the recruiter on Monday, told him my credentials. He was so excited to talk to me. He put me in contact with the public affairs officers down at the Charlotte Guard. Then I got on the phone and talked to her and had a conversation. The chief also emailed the other chief a full-time job down there, which the recruiter had just told me about. They told me to apply. The chief's wife helped me with my military resume. Then the chief reached out to the commander down in South Carolina for just an awesome letter of recommendation. And when I say this seed was planted over a year ago, and I had no idea, I just went there. It was my true, authentic self. And the way these people view me, and now I have job opportunities and letters of recommendation. And, I just sent my appreciation to the person who wrote the email and the chief who made the recommendation. Like, no matter how this ends, if I end up with this job or not, like, you have forever changed the course of my life because, like, you just gave me faith that when you just believe, things will work out. And
That's right.
I was just like, wow, that is amazing. So I'm in a total different space, even with my job. I'm kind of like, I'm going back to work on Tuesday. On Tuesday, and whatever happens, happens. Like, if it's
Right.
meant to be, it's meant to be. But I know that that's not where I'm going to be long term anyway, you know?
Ashe.
Yeah, so I'm like, you won't break my soul.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. And that again is just another example of the duality of this life. There are people who are saying there's no jobs, there's no opportunity, this is this and this is that. And the goal is if something is for you, it's going to be for you. There's nothing that no one on this planet can do to stop you from having what is for you. And we can accept that when it comes in that beautiful, wonderful package that Mary just laid out for us. Because that was a beautiful story, the way that just weaved itself together, and that you could consciously see and was aware of how it was happening for you. So you could get all the blessing, all the good, warm feeling of it, right? You saw it happening. But it's also true that it's happening exactly the way it is when it doesn't line up for you, right? When it doesn't happen for you the way you imagined it in your mind, because on the backside, spirit is working it out, right? Because
Right.
we are part of the all, and so because we are God and God is we, everything is working out for our good. And being excited when we can live in this world where there's, like Angel just said, somebody was murdered and her city is locked down while that's happening, but still in our own personal universe, our own personal life, experiencing the blessings, experiencing those sweet spots, having those wonderful conversations or those experiences, those glimpses into perfection. And when I say perfection, into that space of just love and light and hope and gratitude and building, that's the duality of life. How things can be so horrible, but yet so amazing at the same time, right? Um, I just give thanks for that this morning. Thank you for your input, Mary Jane. Thank you for that story. That was beautiful. So many beautiful um, recollections of just the blessings, the flow. It's
Thank you
this.
so much. And I appreciate the space just to speak on it.
Ashe, Ashe. All right. So as we just continue just to float in the space of security, of safety, of knowing that spirit has our back. Spirit has our back, even when we're panicking, like me, jumping up, worrying about a lazy Susan. That seems so trivial, but that thing was on my mind. You don't know how it was working me, but it really wasn't the lazy Susan. It was the grief. It was the knowing that I couldn't go back into that house anymore. That house is no longer a place that is for me to be. It was that. It was that conscious knowing that place was off limits. That was a termination of something in my life. It's amazing how the psyche will respond. Um, but I give thanks that I was able to quiet my mind. I was able to pull it back. It took a minute. And like I said, I had to go on Amazon and see if I could find another one and talk to myself and say, well, just go to the thrift store. You'll find another one. But let me let y'all in on a little secret. Sydney still had her keys. So we went in and got my lazy Susan, damn it. And I feel better. but I just give thanks. But this has just been a beautiful day to just recollect on the duality of life, on setting a routine that supports our new mindset, our new patterns, the new conversations that we're having with ourselves, the boundaries that we're setting with ourselves, welcoming um, time to edify and build, whether it's through journaling or physical movement, creating spaces that help us create in our craft, um, making those phone calls that we need to build our business, spending quality time with our family members. I like the way Latoya said that she, at 2 o'clock, that's learning time for her son. Um, it's just a wonderful feeling to know that you are in control to some degree in creating your life in the day and the routine and the flow. So I just wanted to celebrate that this morning and bring that into a space of knowing that we're on track. We're on track. We're utilizing these new tools and new um, blessings and manifestations that we've been given them, that we are using them to the best of our abilities every day. We are moving. We may seem like we're only moving in small increments, but if we were able to audibly hear the voice of the Most High, they would tell us. They're so proud of us. They are so proud of us. And I like the way Mary said, "You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul." No, never that. Never, never that. We might get low. We might bend. We might even crack a little. But we always come back stronger and better. So let's just take a deep breath here. And when we exhale, just smile. Smile at ourselves. Just smile. Looking at the hurdles and the obstacles that we have lived through. Being thankful that we made it through, whether we were doing it on our bellies, on our faces, running upright, skipping, dancing, crying, screaming, but damn it, we made it. We made it to tell the story. Let's also remember to wink at ourselves, as Angel said, to tell ourselves, I love you. I love me some me. I'm so proud of me some me. Mm, I am proud of me. I thought this thing in my life was going to really take me out. But Spirit showed me how strong I am, how resilient I am, how strategic I am. Gave me hope when I didn't have any. Comforted my fragile heart when I saw that it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go. But comforted me so that I could still see the blessing in the midst. I still had peace in some areas where I didn't think I could ever have peace. And on those days when I was unsettled and I was in pain, someone came to make me laugh, or to walk me through it. Some work came so that I focused on something else and got blessed through that. So I am so grateful. Gratitude is my attitude. Gratitude fills my joy. And joy I can call in those times when I need it. Well, we are blessed. We are blessed. Let's go on to church, y'all. We are blessed and highly favored. Ashe, we are blessed.
Ashe.
We are blessed. There's so much that we could take notes on today. Lenore's early morning journaling, quiet time. Latoya's afternoon time to just carve out and spend time with her son. You know, Mary Jean's knowing when it's time to just remove and detach from the situation. Give yourself an opportunity to reset and trust the process that however it falls, it's going to be all right. Even when it feels like it ain't all right, it's all right. You know, and I know Stephanie doesn't talk much. Thank you for coming back in, Steph. We lost you there for a second. She don't talk much, but she does a lot. And if you're following her on Facebook or Instagram, just watching her progress, she is building an empire, one product at a time. And I'm so inspired by her and proud to call her friend and sister. So I don't know how she does it, but she finds time to do a million things in one day and still hold down a job and still have a home and still make time to exercise. So I just want to say, I see you, sis. You are encouraging and inspiring me, and I'm sure others that are watching you.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
yeah. So as we release this space this morning, are there any final words from anybody? Oh, Stephanie, you're unmuted. Come on in. Come on in, Steph. Oh, she's back on mute again. But anyhow, this was just one of those mornings where I just wanted us to come together and just savor these beautiful moments, savor and count our blessings and just be in the beautiful space. In the beautiful space. And just encourage ourselves to just see ourselves and be proud of ourselves and keep it moving. Ashe. We close this space, giving thanks to the ancestors, giving thanks to our guides and our angels, our spiritual entourage that surround us and support us and lend us their energy, that come into the space and fill in the spaces and the places between us, who have traveled this life with us, this assignment of life with us. I just give thanks on this morning for seeing the greatness, seeing the beauty amidst all the chaos, all the hell that is constantly being spoon fed to us through the media, through what's going on as we're walking down the streets, that we're walking in power and not fear, that we're using our intuition, that we are aware of our surroundings. but we're also aware of our power and who we are, and that we have the ability and the responsibility to create the life that we desire and that we deserve. I give thanks for doors opening. I give thanks for blessings and things aligning that are building us and supporting us. I give thanks for our routines that are either in the process or are being um, figured out right now, that are being tweaked right now. I give thanks. I give thanks. And I say Ashe and Ashe as we release this space. Ashe. Okay, ladies, have a great day.